Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Hindy, the Android Authority app guy, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. We have a lot of PC gaming related news this week, and a whole lot more, so let's get started. First up this week is a new PC emulator for Android that lets you play old PC games. It's called Exagear, and while it is rather complicated to use, it looks like something that could be pretty fun to play. It is a PC emulator for old PC games, which means no games actually come with it. It's been optimized for a few titles including Civilization 3, and it is a bit pricey at about $14 when you add everything up. It'll be hit or miss with a lot of people, but the concept is really cool. So apparently Facebook is about ready to sever their messaging app from their regular app. I personally dislike this move because I'm not a fan of Facebook's messaging platform, so the idea of having to download two apps just to maintain functionality on something I barely use is not very palatable. However, Facebook maintains that they're doing it so the messaging service can improve more on Android. The change should be happening soon, so you might as well download the Messenger app now. Leave it to Google to not let anything go to waste. The Google I/O 2014 application has been repurposed as a tutorial app. Instead of letting the application die off, Google instead updated the application to the latest material design standard and then released the code along with some documentation and reference material so that developers can use it as a base for their material design apps. The code from the app shows a lot of great examples, so if you're an app dev, you should probably hop on that. Google Now received an update this last week, and now it knows which hotel you're staying at. The new functionality is pretty much based on that. Once Google determines what hotel you're staying at, Google Now can deliver recommendations in the area around the hotel. This is a great new feature for pretty much anyone who travels, and it can be good if you're vacationing in an area you don't know very well. It can also give you directions to your hotel from anywhere in case you get lost. And our last bit of news this week, Morrowind may be showing up on Android sometime in the future. The port has been successfully installed on Android devices, but the performance is abysmal for the time being. Developers are working on it, and so far the progress has been described as impressive and quick by those who have been following along. This is exciting because Morrowind was a huge and popular game, and seeing it on an Android TV would just rock. So who wants to see some trending applications? As usual, if you want to check any of these applications out, you can find the links in the written companion, which is in the video description below. The venerable SwiftKey got a huge update this last week that includes bug fixes and a whole bunch of much-needed performance improvements for translations, typing, loading times, and flow performance. It doesn't include any new features, but the list of things that it does improve on with this release is simply impressive. And don't forget that SwiftKey is now free, so if you haven't tried it yet, climb up from under that rock and join the rest of us. Journal is a fun new application that allows you to keep a diary or a journal on your smartphone. It comes with some standard writing features along with some more unique ones like syncing your journal across devices using Google Drive. There are in-app purchases, but unless you plan on printing any journal entries out or backing up your journal to local storage, you should be able to use this unique journal application entirely free. Mirage is a new application that has similar functionality to Snapchat as well as Facebook's version, which is called Slingshot. The claim to fame for this camera messaging service is that everything is completely unrecorded. You send stuff, but it never gets recorded anywhere on a server. You can also interact with all of your contacts and not just the ones signed up for specific social media services. It's free to use with no in-app purchases, so why not give it a try? Link Bubble got a pretty substantial update this last week. Included is Android Wear support, Android L support, and improved functionality for notifications and incognito mode. For those who may not know, Link Bubble is a unique web browser that uses floating notifications to let you browse the web instead of the usual full screen mode. It's a pretty awesome application, and you should definitely try it out. Last up this week is Peek. The fun lock screen application allows people to interact with their notifications on their lock screens in a more efficient manner. Received a pretty big update this last week. It now includes support for Android 4.3 devices, an improved setup process, and the boilerplate bug fixes and performance improvements. If you're running Android 4.3, you should definitely check this one out because it's a pretty nifty application. If you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in Android news and reviews, I recommend going to AndroidAuthority.com, clicking on the little menu thingy, and heading to our apps section where you'll see our latest news, reviews, our Indie App of the Day segment, and our Meet the Dev segment. Once again, I'm Joe Hindy from AndroidAuthority.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you want to follow Android Authority, myself, or the rest of the video team, you can find our social media links in the video description below. If you're hanging out for a minute, we have a couple of awesome videos for you to watch right over there and in the video description below for you folks on mobile. Don't forget to check out the written companion in the video description below, which is where you're going to find all of the download links. As always, thanks for watching everybody, and have a wonderful day.